Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we are playing another Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. This is actually a replay from a recent tournament hosted by Turin. This was the clan war he did. It was XMT versus the Emma. Apparently it's called Emma. Yeah, apparently it's Greek for blood. It's spelled Ama. A-I-M-A. Apparently it's pronounced Emma. Who knew? Anyway, yeah, so this is a really fun one. So Vampire Counts versus the Lizardmen. And not a very typical build here from, I think it's Uncle Gant, I think is the one. I've forgotten the other guy's name. I'm rubbish at this. I'm bad with names, but we'll get to it. I mean, GG to both of them. But anyway, here we have Hex Wraiths. Hex Wraiths, I mean, armor piercing. Very nice. You know, magic and fire damage, sure. I mean, not that useful, but they got a lot of physical resist. So unless you do dumpster them with magic, they're going to go for a long time and get healed up very easily. They do cause terror, so it's nice to have a big terror-causing, you know, unit like that. Also some Fell Bats. As well, he has some Blood Knights. Blood Knights are obviously anti-large and just super good. They're going to beat any other cavalry rather nicely. And Vargeist. And cavalry is important. You'll see a lot of, often see a lot of cavalry in this matchup because you've got to have something to pin down Terrorgeists and stuff. I often go with the double Terrorgeist nonsense in this matchup. It's great for hunting down dinosaurs one at a time. I have a Mortis engine just to keep stuff busy. It's great. But anyway, Vargeist as well. So huge weapon strength. And they can charge in the back. They do cause fear. But I mean, everything causes fear. It's the Vampire Counts. But still, these guys are alright. They're good for chasing things down. They're very good for just chasing a sort of a skink chief or something like that. With that 92 speed, it's pretty good. So, Sternsmen, they're going to heal up, they're great. Creme de la creme here, though, we have Hellman GHORST. I mean, what on earth? But he can summon Graveguard, and Graveguard actually performed brilliantly against things like Saurus Warriors. So, why just bog them down with zombies when you can bog them down with something that's actually going to get a lot of killing done? So, that's kind of cool. I love that. And he does have his own Mortis Engine effect, which is nice, but he is a very big, low-armored target that can be bullied by pretty much anything. So, luckily, there's a lot of other stuff with mass in here to keep things bogged down. There's some Crypt Horrors. You never see Crypt Horrors. So that's really cool to see. Also, a ton of Skeleton Warriors and Graveguard in the front and back. So I love this. Oh, and a Necromancer as well. He's basically just here for Forbidden Rod. That's right. He's just going to be killing himself over time for the benefit of Hellman GHORST. You know, he's cackling. Yeah, spot on impression. Anyway, here you can see there is Krokgar hiding in the corner. Not entirely sure why. But he's there with his Cold One Spear Riders. So that's cool to see. Also, Pterodon Riders with Fire Leech Bowlers. These guys can get a lot of hurt in, which is rather nice. And their bombs can help crumble any units beneath them. There are some Temple Guards. Temple Guards very robust. Also some Saurus Warriors and Skinks with Javelins. The Javelins will help against things like Crypt Horrors. You know, anything low armor. Those Javelins can actually put in a fair bit of hurt before they just start running in and getting slaughtered. Also more Fire Leech Bowlers over here, and Skink Priest of Heavens. This is the bane of any ethereal units, is the Wind Blast. It's really brutal, and Curse the Midnight Wind will help a lot too. Great debuff. And there are a couple of... There's the unit of Croctogores as well with some skinks there. So I'm not sure why the Croctogores, I mean, yeah, it will help a lot against things like Graveguard with these guys. And it does add more mass to the army, which is kind of good too. And there are some more Spear Riders in here as well. So we're going to go ahead and speed things up. So over here, things are moving in the trees. You know, bats are probing and exploring, and that flushes out Krokgar. He realizes there's no ambush to be had. He's gonna move in and get with the rest of his troops. But over here, the Fire Leech Bowlers, they have no problem just blasting anything they can. But the Vargeists are on their way. Vargeist nice and quick at 92, compared to the 90 speed of the Pterodon Riders. That's right, they are a brilliant counter. They can actually catch. And now Van Hel's Dance Macabre, 115 speed and an extra 26 melee attack. That's 74 melee attack, huge weapon strength. They should be able to rip these guys to shreds. That is a beautiful move. They are just so quick. So the Pterodon Riders really getting bullied. Bats are coming into support as well. I mean, the Bats here have 110 speed, so they're also very useful for chasing off Pterodon Riders. In here, you can see the Hex Wraith decide just to charge straight into the Skink cohort, being followed up by Skeleton Warriors. So Krokgar, well, he wants to punish them for that. But with that physical resistance, they will shrug off a lot of the damage. So they're trying to abscond, and now more units are coming in. That's right, it's the Blood Knights. Of course, there are Temple Guard here, so that is a bit iffy. They have been slowly caught out there. But Pterodon Riders are dealt with. They didn't get any work done, so that's amazing. So some Javelins trying to get rid of these Fell Bats to spare the other Pterodon Riders, but I don't like their chances. I don't like their chances. Now there's a bit of a piecemeal engagement here, and it looks like these Temple Guards, yep, Graveguard, have just been spawned behind them. GHORST is running straight in there like an absolute champ. Absolute maniac. He does that Mortis Engine effect, and Mortis Engine style things are great for taking out heavy infantry with huge melee defense. They're just great at that, you know, just circumvent the armor, and the melee defense, just hurt them over time. They're going to last a long time, so that's more time for them to be hurt. So that's beautiful. Over here, though, Cold One Spear Riders moving around the outside, as are the other unit, but the Blood Knights are getting a beautiful charge in here. And the terror of the Hex Wraith does help, because Cold One Riders aren't immune to psychology. And if they rampage, they can be stuck fighting the Blood Knights, which they are doing some good damage to be fair. You know, these guys are losing a lot of health. So, a little bit iffy, but these Temple Guards just getting completely butchered. So here, Crypt Horrors are pulling out, they got some nice armor piercing, they can run back in. Here's the Curse of the Midnight Wind to try and help out that front line. So, the Croxagores, the Skink Cohorts, the Saurus Warriors, they're trying to stop this stuff. Over here, you can see some Skeleton Warriors have been keeping all these Skinks busy, but they're expendable. You know, it's kept this stuff busy. These Temple Guards haven't got in the fight yet, and they really need to. Over here, huge surround is happening, so we've got the Hex Wraiths, got Blood Knights, another unit of Graveguard has been summoned, and although they're not anti-large, they're still pretty good. You know, they'll still do some good damage, so that's very scary. A Wind Blast wiping out this whole flank. Skeleton Warriors, and Skeleton Warriors. Luckily it was only the cheap units for the Vampire counts, but that's still a lot of lost units there. An awful lot of lost units. And the Fire Leech Bows are back. Huh. So, yep, the Fire Guys and the Bats still in the corner doing nothing, which is a real pity. So, over here you can see one unit did Rampage. That's right, Cold One Spear Rider Rampage. Blood Knight still holding strong. Hex Wraiths could do with some healing, but more Rampage Cold One Knights and the Crypt Horrors, the Graveguard, they're all stuck in. It's only a matter of time before they all break. So, beautiful little bombard there, doing some good work to the Graveguard that are getting worn down by the amount of stuff in here. Javelins are being thrown in there as well. The Croxagores decide to pull out for a second. Yep, they're going to get a nice charge into these Graveguard. So this front line is struggling a lot here. The Necromancer is still going, but this flank has just been completely collapsed. Krokgar is... yeah, this is an uphill battle. So you can see he's retreating to get in with the rest of his troops. He has to. There are still some Temple Guards here, so they will hold that line for a long time and help chop through these Crypt Horrors and, well, pretty much anything, honestly. And now the Croxagores running in here. Another Wind Blast, helping to crumble these guys. But honestly, I think over here would have been better. There's still a lot of infantry. The Sternsmen are here, and they haven't had a scratch. They are on full health, the Sternsmen. The friggin' Sternsmen, full health. That is bad news. That is very, very bad news. So, Temple Guard pulling out just to readjust slightly. You know, Crypt Horrors trying to move around the outside. There are Blood Knights, Hex Wraiths, a lot of very powerful shock cavalry here. They can get in and out, doing a tremendous amount of damage. So, GHORST, he's running straight into Temple Guard again. It's madness. Just the balls on this guy. I mean, he's doing fine. I mean, he's healing himself up as he's in combat, and he's doing damage just by being there. So, he's actually putting in a lot of work. Cube of Darkness. Good move, good move. Don't want him using any more magic. You can see Krokgar has taken quite a bit of damage. And, yeah, and Helm and GHORST is fine. He's absolutely fine. God, just Helm and GHORST. What a revelation. So, here, Blood Knights and Hex Wraiths trying to mop up things in the back. And, amazingly, some of these Graveguard are still standing. Sternsmen, now they're stuck in. They're having a whale of a time. Rear charges. These Croxagores are very close to breaking. They have rampaged. And, yeah, the Temple Guard down to half health already. As soon as GHORST turned up, they started taking a lot of punishment. There's no coincidence. GHORST he's a punisher. He's amazing. And, now, just the VAR guys are just finishing off what units remain on the outskirts, making sure that reinforcements can't get here and relieve Krokgar or, you know, the Temple Guards. And here, GHORST is still fine. Krokgar has been trying to get on top of him for ages, but he's having to push through so many, like, heavy mass things that it's very difficult for him. So Blood Knights and Hex Wraiths still just cycle charging stuff. And the VAR guys, they're going to go back to chasing off those Pterodon Riders. So over here, Harmonic Convergence and the Sacred Spawning of Itzel, giving him a load of buffs. He is going to be hitting very successfully if he can just get to GHORST. It looks like he's on him, and although I can't really... oh no, GHORST hasn't taken any damage yet. Are you kidding? Madness. Oh yeah, GHORST is fine. He's fine. So, Spear Riders are starting to return, but at this point, there's a lot of very powerful things that can just run in and block Krokgar. And those Temple Guard are really suffering. They are really suffering. They are very low on health, because they're just being sapped by Helm and GHORST, who just doesn't seem to care. He's barely taken a scratch, which is just insane. And, yep, these units getting wrapped up by the armor-piercing Scary Boys and the Blood Knights, who actually have Van Hel's Dance Macabre, so now 67 melee attack and a huge bonus versus large. They're going to have no problem dealing with those Cold One Spear Riders. Cold Ones, they have now broken, and the Skink Priest is looking on edge. Sternsmen have no problem doing a ton of damage to that Skink Priest. Krokgar, yeah, not so great for killing him, but he's pretty much on his own at this point. He has managed to get some damage into Helm and GHORST, but to say he's been working so hard to get onto him, that's sort of obscene. There we go, Pyrrhic victory. So yeah, a very decent battle with Helm and GHORST. Wasn't even a joke, he actually did some work. He did some great work there. Those Graveguard in the rear was so good. Look at that, 55 kills towards the end. I mean, that was pretty much all Temple Guard. Just the Mortis Engine effect, just draining all the Temple Guard. Amazing. He actually did great. Just nothing focused him down. And nothing was really able to, because they were so busy trying to make sure they won the fight against the Hex Wraiths, you know, and the Blood Knights. But the Blood Knights and the Hex Wraiths, with a bit of backup from Crypt Horrors, were able to fight off, you know, all the Cold One Spear Riders and Krotgar, which is kind of insane. I mean, some help with Graveguard being summoned. If it was just zombies, then maybe it wouldn't have been such a problem. But it was frickin' Graveguard that was summoned back there. So, really decisive move. I love that. And yeah, it was Head Mantis. That's the one. Yeah. Yeah, Head Mantis. How could I not remember that? That totally normal and memorable name. Yeah, so Head Mantis, well played. I think this is a great build. You know, some interesting like variety here, which I kind of like. But yeah, just you got so hard countered here. Uncle Gant just had the perfect build here. The Vargeist I hadn't really thought of as a brilliant counter to Pterodon Riders. I mean, yeah, just throw bats at them. Same with the Skink Chiefs. But yeah, Vargeists are faster, and with Van Helsdale's Macabre, they can catch up very quickly. So they're not going to take the damage on the approach like they normally would. So yeah, they just rip them to pieces. Absolutely amazing. Really good counter. Fairly expensive, but of course Vargeist can be used on other things. You know, rear charge them into Saurus Warriors, and combined with the Terror that you've got with the Hex Wraiths, you can see stuff Terror out very quickly. You know, by being able to get those nice cheeky rear charges against things that would otherwise be quite difficult to rear charge. So yeah, absolutely wonderful. Really well played. And just a battery for the Necromancer, you know, fair play. Could have brought a ton of zombie summons as well, but no, that would be cheeky. So we didn't do that, and I appreciate that. Zombie summons can get a little bit ridiculous en masse. They're really just insane. You know, it's like bringing more than one army by the end of it. It's crazy. So yeah, love it though. This is really cool. Really nice variety. Hex Wraiths, really bold. It could be tough to bring an ethereal unit. They'll either do great, or they'll be horribly hard countered because there'll be magic there and they'll just get killed straight away. But no, this is one of those times it worked out great for them. So absolutely wonderful. I love this. This was really cool. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe. And to see the entire tournament, go head over to Turin's channel. He streamed the whole thing. 7 games in total. This was just one of them. So go do that. So guys, if you enjoyed this, I already said the comment, like, subscribe thing, didn't I? Sorry, it's been a long day. So do that, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.